My name's Trey Hallmark. I grew up in Bernie, Texas. I live here with my wife and 2 kids. I got into real estate 25 plus years ago. I grew up in a family that had real estate background. My mother ran a large real estate company, so I was kind of thrown into the business. My father got into real estate many years later and became a single-family residential developer, and it's really hard to sell land if you don't know what all's involved in maintaining the land, taking care of the land, what the land's capable of producing and what it's not.
My name's Kevin Meyer. I live in Bandera, Texas with my wife Julie and my kids Garrett, that's 15 years old, and my daughter Lauren, which is 12. I graduated from Texas A&M, moved to Bandera, started off as a wildlife biologist. I believe my experience through the years farming and ranching as a wildlife biologist, taking care of clients throughout the state, has put together an arsenal of tools for me to help benefit the clients that I represent and serve on a daily basis.
I love the outdoors. I grew up in the outdoors. It's where I want to be. To me, it's awful rewarding to see a 13 and a 15-year-old kid that grew up in a big city, and now mom and dad have ventured out in the ranch, and you see that look on their face and the freedom and the family together. You know, everybody hears, a family that hunts together, fishes together, stays together. Well, that's very true in ranching. It's the same thing. You've got to know every aspect of the property. You got to know what the carrying capacity is if you're selling, agronomical properties where it depends whether or not what forage you can produce for the amount of animals and animal units you're going to run on the property. And then you've got your recreational buyers who really don't care anything about the agronomical end of it. They just want pretty running water and nice big deer.
I think our key to success is, number one, knowing the markets, knowing what properties are available in those markets, and being able to redirect clients into what their true goals are. Throughout my experience as a wildlife biologist, starting in the 90s and working across the state of Texas, I worked with Parks and Wildlife, caught a lot of deer out of helicopters for triple T permitting, DMP permitting as far as to increase the genetic. I also conduct censuses for ranches prior to closing, post-closing as well.
I understand about building dams, building roads, and all the other stuff that's involved with, developing a property. The majority of our buyers are looking for turnkey properties. They want a fully improved property. They want a ranch that everything is built, the ranch foreman's in place, the animals are there. They just want to move in and bring their toothbrush and have somebody take care of them. Probably 75% of what I do is going to be, within 2.5 hours of San Antonio, Austin area, mainly the hill country, but we do a lot of stuff in South Texas and West Texas. We've sold some pretty famous ranches across the state.
I have an in-depth knowledge of the aquifers and the capabilities of water wells in certain regions, but also I can bring that expertise across the state, working with local water districts, doing research to formulate the amount of water available for a certain client's needs.
We will travel. We both put 80 to 90,000 miles a year on our vehicles, and we're in the air 5 or 6 days a month traveling from places to show property. We're always trying to stay one step ahead of our competition. Even though our competition bites at our heels, none of them really have the expertise or the knowledge to do what we do. We don't sell houses, we don't sell commercial office buildings, we sell land. We've got several people that specialize in lakes. We have several people that in building the roads or clearing cedar, tilling fields, putting in irrigation systems, whatever it is. And we have very, very good contacts in that business that we are happy to share. We'll handle everything. We'll have the whole ranch clean, cleared, barns built, houses built, whatever, and then we will work on a percentage fee on that when we do that. One of the most important things in all this ranch sales is you've got to know your market. And if you don't know your market, you're not telling the truth. Kevin and I both know from El Paso to Beaumont, from McAllen to Amarillo. We know the property values better than anybody.
Through our history working with clients, we've built relationships with banks that we're able to, if needed, recommend to clients that work quickly. They know that we're reputable and that we'll be able to provide the banks with the information needed as it pertains to the property the buyer's interested in purchasing.
Most of our buyers are buying a recreational deal and they don't want any headaches. So the easier you can make the transition and the smoother you can make it run, also plays a big deal in getting them closed. Is if you look at our total number of transactions under contract to our total number of transactions closed, we're probably way ahead of the norm.
Through our company, we have an airplane that allows us to knock hours a day off to be able to be from point A to point B to look at properties. We have a helicopter chartered that we use on a weekly basis as well.
You know, we want to take a piece of property that we can market, put a fair price on it, and push to get that price. If the buyer and the seller are negotiating to get to the right price, the broker ought to be as well. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to build that relationship. And the more places we can sell and the more relationships we can create, the better off we are. Communication, I think, is very, very important in this business. You've got to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk, but you got to also be able to perform and do what you say you're going to do.